Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review series here on Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel, and we are moving quickly through the month of November 1986 here in World Class. Lots of action, couple of debuts at least one debut this week, and continuing building of other stars. We do see Brooks and Spike Johnson versus the Warrior and Scott Casey. Tim Brooks and Spike Johnson, interesting tandem. Casey comes back and is kind of, here for a little while. Big hip toss by Casey. Goes to be more aggressive. Obviously, the Warrior wants to gain some experience and teams with Scott Casey. Interesting note, Casey teams with the benefit of the Warrior on a Survivor Series team later in his career, about 2 years after this. Anyway, tag to the Warrior, who is green face paint, blue trunked. So, anyway, Spike Johnson gets beat around a little bit. Johnson not quite ready for the Warrior, but then again, who is? Big back body drop by the Warrior, and as is always the case, people have to make the Warrior look good. Warrior hits a clothesline and goes for a pinfall and gets a victory off a clothesline. Very short match, to the point. We move to the Grappler returning. Grappler facing off against a newcomer to World Class. Don't know how long he's here, but he's here for a while. And that is Tony Atlas, Mr. USA. Atlas having left the World Wrestling Federation, I believe, in the same year, in 1986, before going up to the Savoldis in New England, where Tony would spend a good bit of his time. Actually lived in Maine. I don't know if he still does, but lived in Maine for quite a number of years. I have met Tony several times and heard Tony's stories about getting hooked up with drugs right around this time and having challenges. But anyway, Tony looks like $1 million here. Arm drags and backdrops. Tony still looking really, really good here. So drugs probably hadn't kicked in yet, but enough of an issue. Mr. USA with a big fresh slam. Much more impressive than the Warriors, if you think about it. But then also, too, Tony able to take care of the guys that he's pressing up, as the Warrior only looking to take care of himself in his own pocket in a lot of cases, especially in his early days. But anyhow, Tony Atlas, personally, guy who was nothing but professional to me. The several dozen times I met him over the years. Really good guy. Still wrestling as of a year or two ago at least. So still taking bookings. I don't know if he still is, but he was there at least in 2018 or so. Atlas wins with a sleeper hold, which to me just seems bizarre. Anyway, gets a win over the Grappler here with that sleeper. Then we go into a singles match that's a little bizarre as well. Buzz Sawyer, one half of the tag team champions, or at least the former tag team champions, against Lance Von Erich. Percy Pringle still with Sawyer, obviously, and that is an interesting deal all the way around. At least to me, it is. But we move into that as a match. We also will eventually see his partner, Matt Bourne, in singles action this week as well. So maybe they need to get some extra time in or something of that nature. Shorter matches this week. Sometimes I notice that when they're trying to fit everyone on the program, they do that. When they have hot angles, matches are longer. When they're trying to build angles, matches are shorter. That seems to be the pattern with World Class. Anyway, the arm work of Von Erich is pretty persistent during the early stages of the contest. We see Von Erich holding on to that arm for at least about 2-3 minutes. And Buzz Sawyer fighting from underneath for several minutes, does get back to his feet, drops down, and takes a big clothesline. He and Matt Bourne have that in common, where he kind of leaps into the clothesline, uses it as kind of a springboard type maneuver. Drop toe hold back to the arm is Von Erich. Von Erich gets sent to the outside of the ring, and that doesn't stop good old Mad Dog. Mad Dog comes out there to fight. We go back into the ring, bear hug by Mad Dog, forcing Von Erich to carry his weight, and that's just the way it goes. Big drop kick from the top, well done, and a big splash by Von Erich, but Mad Dog makes his way close enough to the rope to put the foot over the bottom rope. I actually like this match a lot. If you need to know how to do a babyface, mid-card babyface kind of deal, that's there. Mad Dog with the chain to the back of the head. Referee doesn't see it. Actually does see it just in time. Sees it. The disqualification win for Von Erich. Doesn't look like he should have seen it, but I guess he does. Anyway, Warrior out to help his friend slash former partner. Then we move into the semi-main event, which is Crusher Yurkov versus Bart Batten. That Larry Sharp still managing the Crusher. Crusher, of course, later known as Bam Bam Bigelow. They have a very short match. Obviously, Bigelow still being highlighted as a current slash future star. I don't even know how to say that. But big back body drop attempted, but instead Bigelow walks around the ring with him, walks him to the center, hits a Samoan drop. Looks like nothing. Looks like he just outpowers the kid. And Larry Sharp on the outside, very happy, I'm sure, legitimately happy with his investment in what would later be Bam Bam Bigelow. And Crusher manages to get the victory in, under 3 minutes? I mean, really, really short match. Of course, that's all he really needs at this point in his career anyway. As, you don't need a lot when you're 375 plus pounds and being pushed to the moon. Anyway, Bigelow or Yurkov, take your pick on a name you like at the moment, with a drop kick in the corner, and he manages to go to the top rope and kind of does a sidewalk slam right into the mat. Boom, takes him down 1, 2, 3, and he's done. Main event time, Matt Bourne with Percy Pringle against Kevin Von Erich, and that is your main event for this week. Obviously, I believe Von Erich still your world champion. Yes, the world champion. At this point, they're given very few minutes, probably about 7 minutes or so before the end of the program. So just a teaser to get people to come out to the arena. Bourne, just jump starts and tries to cheat, tries to get every advantage he possibly can. Kevin goes to work on the arm, stays on the arm for a few minutes there. Belly-to-belly suplex that still to this day, I had not known that Matt Bourne was as physically powerful as he was until I've seen this world-class run. Gained new respect for the guy. Kevin goes for the Von Erich claw. Doesn't get all he wants with that. Manages to tie Bourne up in the ropes and has an advantage there. But manages to run into a big kick. Bourne gets himself free of the ropes. Kevin ducks the clothesline and manages to, I guess we'd call a head scissors takeover. You might call it a Huracan Rana today, 1, 2, 3, and Kevin gets a victory. Matt Bourne extremely upset by this. Percy Pringle gets a shot on the way out the door, and we are more than halfway through November here in 1986 in World Class.